your roof. It's the most important protection against nature for your home or your business. That's why I trust the experts at Exterior Home Solutions.
Here in Greenville, just wrapped up the preliminary injunction hearing. No ruling yet from Judge Corker, but both sides stating their case.
Yeah, and it's, a lot of what we thought was going to be the case is obviously from the state attorney general's side, it's a prospective student athlete is losing leverage by not having the ability to negotiate deals and getting into, if you want to call it a bidding war, or certainly get counter opportunities from other schools, and that's a violation of the antitrust laws. And the NCAA saying, hey, you can talk to them, you just can't talk specifics because it's pay for play if you talk specifics before you sign and arrive.
I thought one of the more interesting moments was when the lawyer for the NCAA was talking about that, and then Judge Corker kind of put it back on him, but in your rules it says they're not allowed to talk to collectives or talk to boosters, which they've tried to label collectives as boosters, and so then he kind of talked in circles, and that was one of the things that Attorney General Scarmetti, basically that was right out the gate what he brought up.
Yeah, and again, I think that I thought Judge Corker did a terrific job of asking some pointed questions.
Yeah, on both sides.
On both sides,
yeah.
And I'm sure both lawyers are back in their offices going, well, I wish I'd have handled that a little differently. I wish
Sure.
I'd have answered this certain ways. And that happens everywhere. But I think it was pretty clear where both sides stood. The NCAA is kind of hanging on. They tried to use the House case in California, which is the EA Sports stuff.
Which has been going on for 4 years.
Yes. Yeah. Tried to use that. It's kind of a, hey, this is the same thing. And the state attorney general for Tennessee and Virginia and their representatives said, no, it's not. It's something totally different. And there's a lot, as the judge said at the end, there's a lot for me to sort through. We'll see what that looks like. We'll see what it is moving forward. You're trying to read who won, who didn't win today, and all those types of things. Both sides made their argument, tried to put their best foot forward, and we'll see where the judge goes from there, with the acknowledgement that he's already stated in the temporary restraining order that he thinks that long term it's a violation of antitrust rules.
No doubt. And I think the biggest thing to note is a lot of people are ignorant, including me. No matter what's ruled on by Judge Corker with the temporary injunction, that's just a small battle in the overall war of the case.
Well, I think what happens with this temporary injunction is, where does it go afterwards? And that's something I wrote in the scene set. How hard does the NCAA pursue if this injunction comes against them? Do they continue their pursuit the way they have against Tennessee? Do they change their parameters? What do they do based on this, ruling on this temporary injunction? And how quick does that happen? How quick do they get to discovery if it's going to go to a full trial, if you will? There's lots of things that, potentially come down once a ruling is made, but we'll have to wait and see what that ruling is at this point.
One of the more comical moments I thought was when the lawyer for the NCAA said, we don't know of any kind of leak. We don't know of any kind of, this whole notion that that there's a, investigation, all this stuff. Like, come on, man! Like, just say what it is, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to drag Tennessee through the mud.
Well, they're trying to protect themselves, and they're trying to act like they didn't do anything there. I thought at the closing remarks by the Attorney General representing Tennessee and Virginia that would the NCAA pick a television channel for their basketball
tournament? I thought that was really good,
without knowing what the dollar figure was going to be, which I thought was a nice counterpoint and kind of hit home at that point, with what the case is and what they're trying to argue here. So again, I think both lawyers feel like they probably did some things well, feel like they could have said some things a little bit differently, done a little better. We'll see what the judge goes with from here.
That's right. The waiting game begins for Judge Corker. Tennessee, Virginia, both sides, the attorney generals for both states will be waiting to hear on that decision. He is Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price.